Mountaineer Game Day continues from the Mid-State Chevy Studio. I-79, exit 67. Stock 'em deep, sell 'em cheap.
Regarded by his peers as one of the brightest young defensive coaches in the country, Zach Alley has reunited with Rich Rodriguez here in the University City. Our Mountaineer football insider Sydney Carriel introduces you to West Virginia's 31-year-old defensive coordinator. This interview on the Mountaineer Game Day Spring Football Special is brought to you by Comax Business Systems, your office technology experts. Take it away, Sid.
Thanks, Nick. Well, we are joined now by defensive coordinator Zach Alley. Thanks for joining us. How's Morgantown treating you so far?
Oh, it's been great. Excited to be here, and got a great town, great environment, great people. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, and you came from Oklahoma, but you're reunited now with Rich Rodriguez. You spent 2 years with him at Jacksonville State from 2020 to 2023. What was the connection there? How did you guys find each other? How did you get in contact with Rich?
So originally, I actually worked with Coach Rodriguez at ULM. So when he was the offense coordinator, I was the defense coordinator down there. We, obviously had a great professional relationship, very good personal relationship. And so when he left to go to Jacksonville State, I went with him and just had an opportunity to grow and develop under him there, and obviously had to go to Oklahoma for a year, but came back when he had an opportunity to bring me back, and really excited about it, love him to death.
Yeah, so a little bit more about you. You're a young defensive coordinator in the league, only 31 years old here. How did you move up so fast in the coaching status?
I've been blessed. I think God's put me in a lot of places to be successful and to have an opportunity to prove who I am and what I can do. And took me all across the country. I think I don't know how many different spots it is now, but it's a lot. And so excited to be somewhere where I feel like we can build and create something meaningful and lasting.
Did you come from a family of coaches?
I did not. My dad played college ball. My grandfather played college baseball, and so we were always an athletic family. My brother played college baseball, and so it kind of just ran in my blood, but no direct coaching ties in the family.
Can you recall the certain point where you were like, yep, I want to be a football coach? I
think young, I was never good enough to, I wish you got to choose when you stop playing. Usually you get told. And so I wasn't good enough, to continue to play. And so I just had the itch to stay with the game and to be around it. And so I think probably, sometime in the middle of college, I thought it was some avenue I wanted to do. And I remember my first year GA and I wanted to quit. It was so hard. It was so tough. And that second year I had a blast. And I knew that this was my calling, and it was easy after that, I would say, to know this was my purpose. Hadn't always been the easiest years, but it's been fun.
When did you know that defense was your calling for the coaching side of things?
Yeah, I actually thought I wanted to be an offensive guy when I started out, when I got to college. But then Coach Venables talked me into coming over to the dark side, and that's how I understand football now. And so, from that point forward, I've been all in on defense, and I love it. It's fun.
So hard edge is the identity, the mentality of this West Virginia team. How is your philosophy on the defensive end line up with that hard edge? Yeah,
we talk about playing relentless all the time on our side of the ball, attacking, getting after people, dictating to the offense, not the other way around, and the mindset of how we go about that every day. I challenge our guys to be the best, that there's a standard that's up here all the time, that we perform to that standard every single day, and anything less than that isn't good enough, and you have to have a hard edge to maintain that. It's definitely not easy. College football isn't, but I think that we've got a lot of guys that are buying into that philosophy and creating that mindset on our side of the ball as well.
Yeah. So Coach Rodriguez called you an innovator, and he wanted you on your staff because you are so innovative with your coaching. And you talked about how your defense is going to have a variety of different looks this season. How do you teach that to the guys, especially with this being a new group of guys?
Yeah, it looks complex a lot of times, but it's really simple when you boil it down. I tell the linebackers, we do like 7 things total. Now you got to remember which 7 they go with within the scheme and within what we do, but all very similar. And we have a way we demand it. We challenge our guys to be the best as far as studying, coming in, being around, learning the game of football, not just knowing the calls, but understanding why we do what we do. And I think that creates the buy-in, and guys want to learn and understand it. And so we're able to do more because of that commitment that we have.
So first year in the Big 12, how are you preparing for these Big 12 offenses?
Yeah, we've been watching everybody. We'll get to more of it as we get closer to the season, obviously. But I'm not sure I've played anybody on the schedule this year as far as in my career. So I kind of like that because they ain't played me either, So it's a trade-off both ways. But we'll definitely do our homework and have a great plan come game time. That's
a great way to look at it. They don't know what they're in for with your innovative mind. So looking at the offseason, how do you know that this defense is on track leading up to that first game on August 30th?
Yeah, I mean, I'd still say we got a long way to go. I'm somebody that the work isn't done until we kick the ball off. We'll be in the walkthrough prior to going to the stadium, and we might have a full sweat going. We're, getting after it so hard. And so for me, you've seen the gradual improvement over spring ball. So far, we've come a long way from the first practice to now, but we've got to continue to get better and better throughout the summer and into fall camp before we're ready to play.
That's Sidney Carriel with defensive coordinator Zach Alley. And that's not the only reunion story on this new coaching staff. A pair of Mountaineer football greats are back with the old gold and blue, hoping to make an impact on the program in a new way. We'll tell you their stories later in the show. But coming up next, we'll introduce you to Cade Kincaid, the next Mountaineer mascot. Don't go anywhere.